Today's Fan Run podcast is brought to you by DraftKings.
DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is putting new customers in the center of March Madness. Bet $4 on any underdog and win $256 if they win. It's that simple. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code FANRUN in all caps when you sign up to turn $4 into $256 for a limited time and only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older in Tennessee only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text the Tennessee Red Line 1-800-889-9789.
For the Drive's Top 4 at 4.
All right, here we go. Hour number 2 of the Drive underway. Time for the Top 4 at 4, brought to you by Crown Cleaners. All right, new Trey Patterson, stepping up to the mic. You will be graded on the curve, Trey. Go ahead.
All right. Well, first off, big news, biggest story of the day. Talked about it a little bit already. Roy Williams has retired from North Carolina after 33 years at the age of 70.
70 years young.
Sneaky old.
Roy Williams, 48-year coaching career. Are we it's surprising. I thought he had another 5-10 years.
Yeah. I definitely
left
thought
in
he had 5 years.
Does this season just take a toll on him? It seems like a really odd time to hang it up for him. I'm surprised. Guess that's just me. Go ahead.
All right. Number 2, Renaya Davis has declared for the WNBA draft. I'm not sure if she was a senior.
Yeah, she was a senior.
She was.
So
she
I guess
could have came back, I guess, for
okay.
an additional year regardless, but she has declared for the WNBA draft.
It's a lot of production they have to replace there.
Yeah.
Hopefully Holly Jolly is out there recruiting some.
Where are we right now in the college basketball recruiting rankings for
I don't know.
Lady
Trey,
Vols?
let me look up the women's college basketball recruiting rankings. Get back to you on that.
More under your.
I've heard she's done well though.
Holly Jolly.
Yeah.
You talk about a school that can recruit itself. That's Lady Vol basketball. Number 3, Chris Beard has been hired as the new head basketball coach at Texas, leaving Texas Tech.
That's we talked about this going in. I thought that's who they should hire. That's who they should go after. I also thought that he shouldn't take that job because 20 years ago, you take that job, absolutely. But today, when the money is such that you've got everything you need to be successful at Texas Tech, as evidenced by the fact that they've already been to a Final Four under him there, there's no reason to take the Texas job. You don't need those problems, Chris Beard, because the expectations are going to be so much higher. And you went to a Final Four at Texas Tech. He could have coached there another 30 years. And you're in the Big 12, and it's fine, and you could just coach there forever. He's still going to have success. But I do admire him betting on himself. He's confident. He thinks he can succeed there. That's the big job in that state. They've got an amazing new arena that they're building down there, so he gets to be a part of that. And I'm sure that they gave him a hefty chunk of change to get it done, too.
Do you think he regrets signing there now that the North Carolina job is open?
Well, no, because he's a Texas guy, right? I mean, he probably covets them. It's one of those things. Depends on where you are, right?
Yeah.
That job's probably more valuable to him than the North Carolina job. I would imagine. I don't know for sure, but
I don't know. North Carolina, they're the prestige. They're traditional blue blood. But,
yeah.
I mean, if he's from Texas. And lastly, we got more news on the NCAA Supreme Court case, stuff going on with that. A trio of college basketball players today met with the NCAA president, Mark Emmert, and asked that the association adopt a temporary blanket waiver that would allow for all athletes to benefit from endorsement deals this season.
Next season, next school year.
Yes, this upcoming season.
I'm so confused. There's so much controversy. There's always something going on with the NCAA. I thought that was the thing. I thought that was going to be the rules, that they could do it starting next year.
Well, they're wanting the blanket waiver because I guess they're thinking this is going to take a lot of time for it to come into effect, and you're only in college for 4 years, so they won't be able to.
I mean, I guess so. I don't have a strong opinion on that. I don't even know, is the one-time transfer thing, is that official yet? That's a thing, right?
I don't think it's official.
It's not
yet.
official. I thought
what are they doing?
Name, image, and likeness, that's kind of official, but not really. Maybe in certain states. I don't know. It's impossible to keep up with. All I know is the landscape of modern college athletics is changing rapidly.
Oh, yes, right before our eyes. And they have to adapt because you see all these top basketball recruits, especially, start going to the G League.
Yeah, I hope that's not a trend that continues. Is that 4?
That was 4.
All right. What do you think, Bear? First top 4 at 4? Not great, not bad.
We
We've
got
seen worse,
something to
we've
work
seen better.
with. We got something to work with.
I got some good ones for the top 5, so
We'll be the judge of that.
Yeah.
I was saving the good ones for last.
All right, there you have it. The top 4 at 4 brought to you this afternoon by Crown Cleaners. Starch Madness continues, but time is running out. I believe this is going to be the last week of Starch Madness. So if you love all things fan run, please, folks, show a little bit of that love to our sponsors. Crown Cleaners is a locally owned, family-owned and operated business here in Knoxville. They've been in business for over 50 years now, and they've been one of our biggest supporters for such a long time. We want them to see the benefits. They do a promotion like this, Starch Madness. We want them to see the power of Fan Run Nation. And I was told earlier this week, I'm not sure if I'm hoping this has changed, but I was told that this year's promotion had not been engaged in with the numbers it was last year. So that was a little bit disappointing. So if you love us, please go to fanrunradio.com, click on the Starch Madness logo, print off the coupon and stick it in the bag with your shirts, or just take it up there to their Bearden Hill location or out on North Shore. You bring in 3 dress shirts, get the 4th laundered for free at Crown Cleaners. 3 dress shirts, get the 4th one free. That's the deal. Got to go to fanrunradio.com, click on the Starch Madness button to get the coupon there. 2 locations, Bearden Hill, North Shore Drive. Schedule free pickup and delivery online at crowncleaners.com. It is Starch Madness, brought to you by Crown Cleaners, Knoxville's choice for dry cleaning for over 50 years. You did not mention opening day. If we're nitpicking, I could say, we probably should have gone to the scoreboard. Major League Baseball opening day.
Probably should have been the lead. That should have been your number one.
I don't know. Roy Williams retiring is probably
I don't know.
Takes precedence over
opening day.
Yeah, here in Knoxville it does. I mean, maybe if you're in New York City, maybe not so much. But I would say here, at our proximity to North Carolina, the fact that we're more of a basketball town than a baseball town. I'll get you up to date here real quick. Bear, your Yankees. They're
Deadlocked with the Blue Jays, 2-2.
2 up.
2 up. What's that? The top of the
9th.
6th?
Top of the 9th.
Top of the 9th. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Top of the 9th in Detroit as well. It's snowing in this game. Have you seen some of the pictures coming out of Detroit?
No.
It's crazy, man.
I saw Miguel Cabrera hit
a bomb in the snow. 3-0 Tigers over the Indians. They're in the bottom of the 4th in Milwaukee. The Twins leading the Brewers 3-1. They're in the bottom of the 4th in Chicago at Wrigley. The Pirates leading the Cubbies 3-2. And they play in the bottom of the 3rd in Philly. And Philadelphia out to a quick 2-0 lead. 2-0 over our Atlanta Braves. How does that strike you, New Trey?
Not a good start. That's for sure. I haven't been able to watch it because Bear insists on putting the Yankees game on. He can't name 5 players.
Fake Yankees fan.
Shut your mouth.
You know more about his team than he does.
Yeah, I know a lot about baseball.
Well, that'll serve you well in your new job as a sports radio guy.
Won't serve you very well in the drive.
Not so much on this show.
We don't talk about baseball very much.
Well, I mean that can change. That can change. And if we are now a baseball school, listen, I'm all in on this baseball squad and this baseball coach and this baseball team, Tennessee, and that'll probably bleed over into a little more major league talk. We talk some baseball every now and then. The past couple of years, it's been if there's a story, if there's some narrative to it, if there's a fight, if there's a controversy, if there's a scandal, then we'll talk baseball. If it's just, well, the Braves are in the NLCS this year, we're talking football. But that can change. if Tennessee football continues to flounder and baseball fortunes pick up around here, then that can definitely change, man. The Drive is a living, breathing institution. You don't know what it's going to look like from one year to the next.
You adapt and survive.
All right, where was I? I had something to do here. Let's see, I did the crown spot. We did that. Okay. I don't know. Let's go to the phones.
All right.
865-546-8200, your number to get on the show. 546-8200. Phil is up first today. Good afternoon, Phil.
What is there, W?
Hello.
How you and Bear doing?
Doing well. What's up, man?
Trey doing pretty good. I guess that'll hurry Alex back, won't it?
Maybe. New Trey putting a little pressure on Olives?
Yeah. I like Olive, but, I mean, construction more important than drive.
No,
it's
not.
It's a good question, man. Like, does he want to get paid or something?
He should be paying us.
That's a good point.
That's pretty cool, you know.
You need to pay tuition here at the School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah. We'll teach these guys more than they will learn at UT.
That is true, man. As it pertains to radio, I learned so much more. I went to UT for 4.5 years, I think. Maybe 5. I don't know. I learned so much more in just a one-semester internship working at a real radio station than I did in 4 years of college. It's not even comparable.
Yeah. Well, Uncle Roy hung it up today, huh?
How about that, Philly?
Yeah.
Who
I don't see how the fan base will be excited of Herbert Davis or Wes Miller if that's what they're going to do. That's just be like Guffridge getting it after Dean Smith left.
Well, here's the thing with Wes Miller is it's the thing we always ask ourselves when we talk about Tennessee coaching searches. Would we be considering this guy if he weren't T. Martin J. Graham, if he hadn't played here? And I think that's the thing Carolina fans have to ask themselves. Would they be – Wes Miller's done a really good job at UNC Greensboro. I think he's an up-and-comer. Is he ready for the head coaching job at North Carolina at 38 years old? I don't know. But he's done a nice job there the last 4 or 5 years. They've been in the tournament several times, and I think he's a pretty darn good coach. Don't know that he's ready for the UNC job just yet.
Do you think UNC would go after Musselman or Nate Oates?
I would if I were them.
I could see him going after Nate Oates.
Boy, that would be nice.
Did y'all see Nate Oates' contract?
It's going to be expensive.
He ought to be asking for one more Andy than he's getting.
I hadn't seen it yet. How much are they going to pay him?
$3.3 million.
That's his new salary?
Yeah.
You think that's low?
Yeah.
I think that's about where he probably ought to be.
What was he? He got knocked out in the what? Sweet 16 or Elite 8?
You guys are just comparing him to Barnes, and Barnes' contract's out of whack, man. We overpaid for him. It is what it is, but I don't think you can judge it against that contract.
Well, I'm not ready to throw Barnes away now. I mean, we had a disappointing season, but of all the major revenue sports, our football program is about as low as it can get right now. And it's going to be a while before we even get our head above water. And Barnes, like you all were talking earlier, at least he goes to the tournament about every year. I don't see how. Do we want to go back to the days where we're not going anywhere, even going to NIT?
No. I mean, you can't even entertain the conversation, and they're not over there. I mean, there's nobody at UT in any sort of authority position that's even remotely considering a world where Rick Barnes isn't Tennessee's basketball coach. So I know fans want to talk about it, but it's not a conversation anybody who has any power is having.
Yeah, and there's in the next few years, there's going to be a lot of good players in Tennessee to get.
And he's been recruiting them for a while. It sounds like he's going to have to reshuffle his staff a little. Have you heard anything there, Phil, about Des Oliver?
No, I haven't heard anything. I think if Des Oliver's going to get a job, he'd already got it. I hope he stays, though, because he's the number one recruiter they got. But they need to get another recruiter that can go out and recruit and also and coach post players, which I think is the biggest weakness on this team.
Well, and if Carolina hires Wes Miller, I mean, that's another position that Des Oliver could conceivably be up for. So it's yeah, I mean, it's a good problem to have. I think when guys are hiring your assistants, it shows that that's a place that coaches want to be, and that ADs value you coming from a Rick Barnes tree and everything. I just hope it doesn't hurt us too much with the Bobby Mays pipeline. My guess is it probably won't, Phil, because those guys generally have a high opinion of Barnes, and whoever he brings in is going to be okay. But you're right. I mean, the state is loaded, has been for a couple of years now, and looks like it will be for the foreseeable future.
And in football, state's loaded too, but we've got our program now is, not much better than Vanderbilt, and it's going to be difficult to probably get half these recruits in our state this year.
It's going to be difficult. I think we're going to reach on a couple of guys and take some – we're going to take some guys, in-state players, that Pruitt staff wouldn't give the time of day. I'm okay with that. I just don't know that anybody – I don't know that Urban Meyer, Nick Saban would be able to come in here and recruit a top 10 caliber signing class given the cloud of NCAA sanctions that's currently hovering over this program. That just makes it difficult.
Well, in all honesty, if Tennessee had any guts, which they don't have, they would never let the NCAA on the campus. You don't see,
we invited them in.
You can rip LSU all you want to. They're going to fight the NCAA to the bitter end. And I don't see their football or basketball coaches been fired yet because of NCAA violations as much as they're doing down there.
It's because he wins. They win down there.
And they cheat. And they say, we're going to cheat, and come. We're not going to turn nothing in to nobody. We're not going to give away our coaches like Tennessee did. Saul started back when Buck Pearl was laid down. Just to say that crummy football program hadn't done nothing in 20 years.
Wow.
Where's Bruce Pearl 2 years from now, Phil?
It's a good question.
He's still at Auburn? Is he on probation?
On
ESPN?
ESPN?
If I was Bruce Pearl, I'd go to Texas Tech because he could be a real head out there.
Oh, man,
Texas
they would love
Tech's
him.
a better Auburn. That's a better job in Auburn.
You know what a rock star Mike Leach was in Texas Tech? And I know he's a weird dude anyway, and so that lends itself to him. But Bruce Pearl would have the same kind of – he's just made for a college town, man. You can't put Bruce Pearl – I know he went to Boston College, but you can't stick him in Boston or Chicago or New York City or something like that. He's meant to – if we're being honest, Auburn is probably a pretty good place for him, as much as that hurts to admit.
Who's going to get the Oklahoma job?
Boy, that's a good question too.
I mean, this is kind of a bad year to be hunting for basketball coaches, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, because most of the ones that, like the Nate Oates and Musselmans, and like most of those guys got hired last year. Like the hot coaches
there's always another one of those guys. Who coached Oral Roberts this year? Who coached that Iona team that took Alabama to the wire?
That was Rick Pitino.
That's a good
but
point.
Rick Pitino can win anyway.
maybe he goes to Oklahoma. Rick Pitino with the Sooners.
He'd take it in a heartbeat, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
He would.
Oh, that'd be beautiful. Rick Pitino.
Indiana should have hired him, man. They should have.
Well, I know, ain't that a terrible hire at Indiana?
Man, what are they thinking, Phil? They just don't care?
That's a Buzz Peterson type hire.
That bad?
He's coaching the NBA.
I think it's worse than that, man, because like Buzz Peterson, honestly, Buzz Peterson, when we hired him, was on an upward trajectory, right? We hired him from Tulsa.
Yeah.
And he had been at Appy State before that. He was viewed as a young up-and-comer. Mike Woodson is retread central. And he's not even college retread. It's just gamble of all gambles. I don't know.
He's been retreaded more than once.
I said the same thing about Arizona State hiring Herm Edwards, and that's worked out well for them so far, I suppose. So maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but this just seems like a very uninspired hire.
Did y'all know that April 1st, 1997, Uncle Jed was hired as basketball coach at Tennessee?
I might not have been the first choice. I might not have been the second choice, but I was the right choice.
But all honesty, since that time, we've been a basketball school, and then the football program has been completely imploded by the guy who won a national championship. See,
always a ray of sunshine on the way out, isn't he?
What did Jerry Green say? Did somebody call him the wrong name, or did he say he didn't know where he was? Did he say he still thought he was at Oregon or something like that? He said something really goofy in his opening press conference.
Was he lit?
I don't know.
I always wonder if he was lit up.
That was a terrible opening press conference. I thought the Conzo Martin one was really rough too. His opening press conference, just because of complete lack of personality and following Bruce Pearl. I mean, it was like walking out of a Motley Crue concert and walking into a library. It's like, oh man, unsettling. Stay with us. The drive continues. More of your phone calls coming up. It's Fan Run Radio.
The Drive.
Welcome back. The drive continues. Fan Run Radio. Tony Vitello coming up in 1 hour. You excited, Bear?
Yeah, but my mind's still blown by what you just told me.
About the Sex Pistols?
Yeah. Like, it's ruined my good part of my teenage angst years. I never knew that they were basically a boy band. It's pretty much what you're accusing the Sex Pistols of being.
Yeah, you've got me now wondering if I think that, it was Malcolm McLaren was the guy's name. He was like, he put them together.
Malcolm McLaren isn't just some guy.
Yeah, but he was a
Malcolm McLaren,
music manager guy. And he was like, listen, all right, you're going to be the singer, you're going to be the bass player, you're going to be the guitar, you're going to be the drum, and I'm going to produce you. And that's how they got started.
That's very, very disappointing to hear.
Should it matter? I mean, is the music good? Do you like the music? You used to like it. Why should that change anything?
Let's do it on the way to work today.
Does it rock or does it? Is it a jam or is it not a jam? Jam or not a jam?
And he's best known as a promoter and manager of the. He also I didn't realize he managed the Dolls, the New York Dolls.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
Let's bring in Don from Sweetwater. Don, you a big Sex Pistols fan?
No, I have no idea.
No,
I'm a lot older, man. When you get past the Beatles and Elvis Presley, or Rod Stewart. Rock and Rod.
You grew up with the Beatles and Elvis. It's kind of hard to turn on new music. It just doesn't add up. Now,
my two go-to music stations is here in Sweetwater. It's an oldies station, another in Lenore City. That's only pretty much that, and then one that comes out across for 105. I think it's about the same college as y'all's FM, but which is probably why I can't ever pick you guys up. But I'm I guess Temptations and Rod Stewart.
Oh,
two I go to.
Good stuff.
All the Temps, man, ain't nothing like them. Ain't never been anything like them. David was
really got a hold of me. Great tune. Stones covered it. Good stuff.
Now, guys, I heard you. I missed first part of the show because about the time I turned the Braves on, once I found them, I thought I had to have ESPN Plus, and then I'm going scrolling through my iPad, and I say, there's something here called Bally Sports. And that's what they're on. I reckon it's Fox Sports South. And
I saw that too. Yeah, Bally. I saw that on my TV listing. I was like, what the heck is Bally Sports?
Yeah, they completely rebranded as of about 3 days ago, 2-3 days ago.
Who did?
Fox Sports Regional Networks.
Is now Bally's.
Yeah, Bally
Sports.
Sports.
Like as in
now.
the casino or the
I guess
gym?
So.
Or?
Thank you.
That would make sense, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm showing. I'm looking at a highlight now with Detroit and whoever. Cabrera hit a 2-run home run, but they're playing in an absolute snowstorm.
In the snow. Oh, it's beautiful. I love that.
Oh, Lordy. But anyhow, I'm sitting here, and I'm like, oh, God, I ain't got ESPN Plus and too cheap to pay for it, and I'm not going to get to see the Braves. I said, that don't make sense. TBS or Fox Sports South, I always got the Braves, and I seen Valley Sports, and I said, well, I know this is something where I got to upgrade, and I clicked it and said, no, I don't. I didn't know what it was.
You got a freebie. You thought you were good. Don thought they were going to squeeze $10 more a month out of him, and all of a sudden he's like, all right, got a little freebie there.
Yeah. Guys, you're talking Philly there when I got the program on, and I got distracted. I was watching the game, and then one of my insurance brokers in West Virginia called and tied me up for a while. And it's like, this is a holiday. It's April Fool's Day and Major League Baseball opening day.
Oh, don't say that.
But you talk to Philly, everybody's worried about Barnes here. Now, according to your guy, Pete Tham over at Yahoo Sports, Barnes is going to North Carolina.
Do what?
Somebody put on VolQuest message board.
Now is that an April Fool's joke? Or?
Well, it probably is, because I totally forgot what day it was when I got up, and I got on VolQuest this morning. It said, Vols land 5-star defensive tackle. I thought, what, Walter Nolan is committed?
They got you.
I called you Buddy Swain, and I said, hey, man, get a hold of AP.
No, you didn't. You got on the radio and fell for it?
Don.
I
fell hard.
Oh, Don. Walked right into it.
Yeah, Jason goes, you mean April Fool's Day? I said, oh, yeah, it is, isn't it?
Oh, man. And your world came crashing down. You thought you had the big scoop, and you were sharing it with everybody, and then they got you. They got you.
Are you guys old enough to remember when Sports Illustrated did that April Fool's thing about this?
Sid Finch.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Threw like 130 miles an hour or something?
Yeah, he was through what? He threw cow chips, 130 miles an hour. He signed for the Mets.
Yeah, that was it. So, a bunch of people bid on that one. So when I seen this thing, Pete Tham on, I looked to see this guy's, but he's a long-time VolQuest message board guy, and I'm like, I ain't falling twice in one day here. I haven't seen this report.
I thought the first one that almost got me was I saw Jeff Goodman reporting that Texas was hiring Chris Beard, and I was like, yeah, right. And I looked at it, it was like, oh, he's got 300,000 followers. This might be the real deal. But you got to have your head on a swivel for at least the next 7.5 hours, Don.
Yeah. Well, I saw the thing about Chris Beard, too, but I didn't pay – I could care less about Texas or Chris Beard, so I didn't pay no attention to it. The Football Scoop's got first story on their page today is about Heupel. I haven't read the article yet. I'm going to go back and read it. But for a school that's where we are, he seems to be stirring up quite a bit of stuff here, there, and everywhere, with people talking about the program, which is a good thing when we're trying to recruit. So I don't know. I may be crazy and just may be my big orange Kool-Aid talking. I'm starting to feel pretty good about this offense.
Oh, Don's starting to drink the Kool-Aid a little bit. What do you think, Don? What's your record at right now? Where are we going next year?
That is so hard to predict. I would like to get through spring before I get overly optimistic.
No, don't. Why are you waiting for facts and data to come in? Come on, let's speculate. 8-4, Bear. That's where the barometer is at, right?
Yeah.
8-4, Don and Bear.
We should win 8.
Okay.
We should go 8-4 next year. I mean, you're the one who sold me on it, Russ.
We're going to have the more talented team in 9 out of our 12 games next year. 9-3 shouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. I know that sounds crazy to say, but it shouldn't.
Well, when you break down all the different stuff, one program I was listening to is break down where our offense and defense right now, based on, I don't know if it's ESPN, whatever, pretty much where it puts you, because outside of the big four, I guess you call Ole Miss offensively, we're going to be playing a bunch of sucky offenses.
Man, if we can put together any sort of defensive resistance and
Yes.
the minor issue of finding a quarterback. But if Tim Banks can just put up any sort of resistance, we're going to be in some games that I think will surprise some people.
Well, I think, and it's still to be proven, but especially our defense of coaching staff this year versus last year, when we basically had no defensive line coach, linebackers coaches that never coached linebackers, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
I think some of these guys might be able to play with coaching. I mean, some of them come out of high school with pretty high accolades.
There's so many guys that need a clean slate, and there was so much politics going on with Jeremy Pruitt, and this guy wasn't my recruit, and I didn't want this guy, and this guy should play this position, all that, and now all that's gone. And look, I don't know if Heupel can coach his way out of a wet paper bag. I really don't. But I don't think he's going to let some of the nonsense and foolishness distract him that Jeremy Pruitt fell prone to. So, yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot of guys like that, Don. I think the safeties, McCullough and Flowers, I think all those DBs are going to benefit from a clean slate. Everybody's talking about how linebacker is such a problem there. That Beasley kid, like Pruitt would not even give him an opportunity to play.
Right.
Barron didn't get as many snaps as he should have got. Omari Thomas did not get any snaps last year. He's a really talented player. There's some pieces out there, Warren Burrell, that are going to have an opportunity that they just weren't going to get under Pruitt, and that's got to be quite a nice carrot to be dangling in front of those guys as they go through off-season workouts.
Have you seen the video that Inky narrated?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier.
Yeah, somebody said there on message board, said I saw more coaching in that short video than I've seen in the last 3 years.
Nice.
Well, guys, I'll get on and let somebody else get on with you. But, yeah, April Fool caught me this morning, and I made a fool out of myself with Swain. So,
Big swinging it. Head on a swivel, Don. You only got 7.5 more hours to go. You can get through this.
All right.
Thank you, Don.
Russ.
865-546-8200, your number to get on the show.
Making a rookie mistake.
A couple pros like you and me would never let fall for anything like that.
Unless your last name's Volkenval.
John Rothstein, CBSSports.com, reporting that Michigan's Juwan Howard has been named AP National Coach of the Year.
I could see that.
Pretty strong, man.
He really built I think one of the best things he did was hiring Phil Martelli as his lead assistant.
Recruiting Hunter Dickinson didn't hurt either.
No, but he's a great recruiter, and he's got a veteran, college head coach to, kind of be a guardrail for him.
Losing to UCLA is the most disappointment Juwan Howard had experienced since Chris Weber called the timeout he didn't have.
Without a doubt.
In 1993.
It's not even close.
You talk about sports memories. You know how big a Fab Five fan I was. That might have been like the last game I don't know if I cried, but I was physically ill when Michigan lost that game.
Were you like 12?
I was 13, yeah.
You liked the Fab Five that much, huh?
Loved them, man. Loved them. And part of the appeal is, like, I know everybody's already seen the 30 for 30. If you haven't, you need to go back and watch it. But that was when Duke had won back-to-back titles, and they were the lily-white, pristine, all-American program. And being a kid, you're going through your rebellious phase. Here comes the Fab Five with the long shorts and everything. They were anti-establishment, everything Duke wasn't. And so it hurt when they lost to Duke that first year, their freshman year. But you kind of understood because Duke had Leitner, and they were so much more experienced and all that stuff. And you just knew that they were going to come out and win it all the next year. And then to see Weber, who is the catalyst and the most talented of all of them, goof up like that at the end. And people don't remember, you go back and watch that play. They had a guy missed a free throw, Weber gets the rebound with
over in the corner, right
like
in front
20.
of the bench.
Well, no, he gets the rebound off the missed North Carolina free throw, and then he walks. He starts to dribble and drags his foot, and the Carolina bench and everybody goes crazy. They're like, how did you not call that obvious travel that just happened?
Yeah.
And so they gave him the pass on
Yeah.
that. It's like, dude, you just screwed up in the biggest moment of your career. You get a pass.
Yeah.
We're not going to call it. And he dribbles the length of the court and gets trapped in the corner and calls a timeout that they didn't have. And it's like,
I remember when he called it. It's like, you can't. I remember looking at my room. I was like, that's a technical foul, isn't it? They don't have to any timeouts.
that's so bizarre that happened.
Do you think somebody from the bench told
That's
him
what
to
he
call
said.
the
He
timeout?
said that Michael Talley,
Yeah.
who was a senior on that team, told him to call a timeout. And the bench said, Steve Fisher said that he told them in the previous timeout that was our last one. You don't have any more. But obviously he did not get the message.
Yeah. Yeah. Poor Chris Webber.
Was that is that more embarrassing than who was it? Who was the Georgetown guy that just tossed the ball to the Carolina? Was it Sleepy Floyd after Jordan shot?
Oh, yeah.
Just passed it right to him. No, it was Fred. So I don't know. It was before my time, but
Yeah.
just passed. He said they're waiting. He just passed the guy. He was at midcourt dribbling, waiting to start their play. They're down by one with the chance to win a national championship. And Carolina, it was James Worthy, flashes out, and he just threw it right to him. One of the worst turnovers you'll ever see.
Pretty bad.
Take a quick timeout. You're listening to The Drive, Fan Run Radio. Should we play the audio again of Manieri? I just don't know why. And
Go ahead and play it again.
I went back and looked, and the LSU fans are killing him for it. They're like, why is this dude whining? You got swept by Tennessee. You can't get swept by Tennessee. Just take your medicine.
Oh, they are? They are on him?
Oh, yeah. Of
Okay.
course, just like we would be. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
What about your in-laws?
I've not talked to them about it yet.
I'm interested to see what your father-in-law has.
Stay with us. We'll revisit that. If you missed it, you know, wait to hear this audio, man. The Drive continues. More Fan Run Radio coming up. Fan Run Radio, The Drive continues. Thursday afternoon edition of the show. Shout out to John Not That Fulkerson's Reds. He's coming roaring out of the gates. Give up 6 runs in the first inning to the Cardinals. That's the way you want to start your season. How are Braves doing, New Trey? Have we scored yet?
No, last I checked,
are
they
we
were still
doing?
down 2-0. But they got a runner on now, so one swing of the bat. That's all it takes.
And who's the center fielder? Is it Pache?
Yeah, Christian Pache.
And he's one of the top prospects in baseball.
Yeah. He's been in the minors, I think, for like the past 2 or 3 years. He's like Acuna, I guess. Acuna was one of those really
Where'd they move Acuna to, right?
Who are you
field.
talking about? Cachet?
Pache.
He wasn't
Pache.
quite highly as regarded as Acuna, but he's still a top 10 prospect in baseball.
Acuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata. Please
I
don't
know
worry.
that, Bear. Let's go to hold on. Before we get Westchester in here, let's listen for folks who are just joining us. This is LSU baseball coach Paul Manieri on Baton Rouge Radio earlier today talking about just whining like a little girl. There's no crying in baseball. Tom Hanks taught us all that years and years ago. Listen to this clown.
Listen, even though there wasn't a huge crowd at Tennessee, it was an extremely hostile environment.
Yeah.
They were nasty.
You could hear it.
Nasty.
You could hear it over the TV.
I mean, they were into Trey Morgan's head. I mean, they were on him from the moment he walked onto that field. And, I mean, it was a difficult situation with the umpiring. There were a lot of calls that went against, kids, and they were having to deal with that. The other team was not handling things with a lot of class, quite frankly. And, it was an environment that those kids had been in for the very first time, and it was very difficult.
It was very difficult, Bear. was very difficult.
He got his feelings hurt.
We had 2,500 people in the stands, and they were mean to my players.
Goodness gracious me, oh my.
It wasn't nice.
Can I sue you?
Here's a name to keep in mind of the North Carolina job. This is interesting.
Okay.
Former Tar Heel great, currently a head coach, young head coach, but currently a head coach in college basketball in this league, in our league, in our state.
Oh. Mr.
Jerry Stackhouse get a whiff?
No.
He would
have had a better shot had he not taken that Vanderbilt job. I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't seem like that's going to work over there.
No, it doesn't. And
because there is an expectation for their basketball program from their fans.
Yeah,
they've been better than this for a while.
Well, they should be. I mean,
they shouldn't be this bad at basketball. Yeah, it's bad for the league.
I'm hearing. Do you have sound on your phone? Come on. What are you doing, Trey?
He's really living up to his name right now.
Oh, it's the TV. Turn that thing down. Yeah, thank you. TV on behind us. What are we doing here? A couple of amateurs?
Yeah.
Folks, portion of the program brought to you by FanDuel, where your first bet is always risk-free. Doesn't matter if you're betting on Gonzaga this weekend or if you're riding with the 12-seeded Bruins. Your first bet will be refunded up to $1,000 in site credit if your first bet doesn't hit at FanDuel. They've got odds on all the action with games day and night. They're super easy to use app, multiple deposits, and fast withdrawals. Always on promotions. Your next chance to win with FanDuel is only minutes away. And their $1 million contest still rolling away. They're giving away $1 million to one lucky bettor at FanDuel. New and existing users get an additional shot at the payout every day you bet the tourney. So, if you want a shot at becoming a millionaire, download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Just use our promo code when you get started, DRIVE1. They'll know we sent you. Promo code DRIVE, the number 1. FanDuel Sportsbook must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. No purchase necessary. Restrictions apply for $1 million drawing. Risk-free offer for first online real money wager only. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires 14 days after receipt. Terms apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. For problem gambling support, call 1-800-889-9789. Almost nailed the dismount there.
Yeah.
Almost.
We got some breaking news.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the now, Barrett, have you properly vetted this breaking news?
Yes, it's coming from Tennessee Athletics.
All right, here we go.
Oh.
Some sad news this afternoon. 6-time Letterman and dual sports star Herky Payne has passed away, Russell.
Yeah, I saw that earlier today.
At 92. He was one of Tennessee's oldest living Lettermen. Herky Payne.
What a great name, too, right?
Oh, God. Screams 1950s college athletics. Herky.
He was
Herky Payne.
A member of the 1950 and 51 national championship teams. We claimed the 1950 championship. We are recognized as the consensus 1951 national champion, but college football was stupid before about 1970 and crowned their national championship before the bowl game.
He was a real deal.
Yep, third team All-SEC by the AP following the 1951 national championship team. His 90-yard punt return for a touchdown against Duke in 1949 stands as the second longest punt return in school history.
Yeah. Then he hit, 354 in the 51 SEC championship, or the champion baseball squad, and then they lost in the World Series finals to Oklahoma. So, a 354 hitter for that season.
Yep, 92 years young.
What a life well lived. Herky Payne.
No doubt, man.
Good night, sweet prince.
Let's get Westchester in here next. Westchester, you're on the Drive Fan Run Radio.
Man, oh man, how Westchester would love to be 20 years younger yet again. Oh, this LSU coach is just asking for trouble.
Oh, man. Wouldn't it be fun to be in school and get to go to the game. I mean, I guess we don't see him for another year or two, but
don't act like you wouldn't if we score you a ticket the next time that guy comes up here that you won't sit in the stands, Westchester. All boozed up on
no.
beer.
What I was going to say was, if I was younger, do we know who they have this weekend?
Oh, you just drive to wherever they're playing this weekend.
You would drive to Baton Rouge just to heckle Palminieri.
They're playing Vandy this weekend.
Ooh.
Are they on the road or are they home?
I don't know
they're
about
home.
that. I would think they're at home.
Yeah.
Because I would go to their next road game and sit behind their student section, and every time they said something mean, I would just go, "How's that make you feel, Paul?" The whole game, the whole weekend, just to do it. That would be fun.
That would be fun. We got bigger fish to fry, though, Westchester.
I know we do, but baseball heckling is a dying art, and if the coaches like this blankety blank have their blankety blank way and try to cancel heckling in baseball, then I don't want to watch baseball anymore. I mean, heckling's part of the college sport, and I promise you, like you said, he's a bit of a hypocrite because his fans give it a lot worse than he's ever got it. So
it's this generation. They're just soft, Westchester.
They are. Nobody knows how to heckle anymore. Good grief. Any chance we can send Barnes to North Carolina?
What are you doing, man? You don't want that. Trust me, you don't want that. You think you want
No,
that.
no,
you Barnes bashers, you think you want him to get the North Carolina job. You don't. You don't even know what's good for you. You don't know what you actually want.
The best thing for Barnes is for him to ride out on his own time and not ruin our job, because he has the power and the connections to do that, and I've come to realize that. I understand. He can make us.
The best thing for Rick Barnes to do is to bring in Kennedy Chandler next year as a 5-star point guard, go get Justin Powell or Tyreek Key, a shooter, to put on the wing next to him, and go find a competent big man to help Fulke out down there with the heavy lifting, and go and break through his glass ceiling for a Final Four run. I mean, we've got a solid program, but they've just got to get the right pieces in place. We thought we had it this past year. We didn't have it this year. But the thing that I like about it, I'm not going to sit here and defend Rick Barnes's tournament coaching. I won't. But the one thing that he does have going for him is he's got the foundation set. He's got some nice pieces already in place, and it's time. And he's hungry, as evidenced by the fact that they're running kids off and flipping the roster this year. So it's time to, time's running out, man. You see Roy Williams hanging it up. He's only 2 or 3 years older than Rick. So,
do you think that was? What's the percentage that was really his choice, or you think he was kind of forced out? Or is it too early to tell?
Roy?
Yeah.
I don't think he was forced out. The guy won 2 natties there, man. I think he's pretty much.
I know, but how long ago? I mean,
not that
like
3 years ago, Westchester. You drunk?
3 years?
Yes.
I don't know. It's just
they won
weird
the first one. I want to say was like his second year back there. The team with is it Sean May and Ray Felton and. I can't remember the other really good player from that team. But then, they won another one in 2017, just 3 or 4 years ago.
I don't think they'll have any problem getting some money. So we'll see what happens there. But that's all I got, guys. Have a good show. Thanks.
They were 18-11 this year. It was not a great year. Then the year before, the 2020, the shortened year, they went 14-19. So, I mean, they're like us in football, where the expectations are high, and if you stumble like that, I'm sure there was people with all sorts of theories about what he needs to do, and probably a lot like us with Barnes and everything. But I don't think there was pressure administratively for him to be out there. I don't know. Maybe there was. I don't know.
I doubt it. I couldn't see it.
In North Carolina, and you follow up a 14-19 with an 18-11, there's probably a lot of unhappy fans and boosters and administrators.
Yeah, I don't think he got forced out, though.
No, I'm with you guys. I would be surprised.
They got football to fall back on now.
Here's Roy's coaching tree. Matt Doherty, who's at Remember, he took over for Guthridge. He was terrible. Wes Miller, who some people at Greensboro, some people are saying should get a crack at that job. Steve Robinson, who was at Florida State and Tulsa years ago. Kevin Stallings, coached under Roy. Mark Turgeon, up there at Maryland, who's on a bit of a hot seat, I believe. Jacques Vaughn. I know Jacques Vaughn's coaching now. He's with the Magic. And Jerry Green.
Uncle Jed.
Jerry coached with Roy up there at Kansas. I coached with Roy a long time. Stay with us. Hour number 3 of The Drive coming up.